Live from our culture studios in Blantyre, we bring you the morning edition of MBC News with me, Opile Kaisa. The headlines. President Mutharika underscores the role of women in national development in his International Women's Day message. The Parliamentary Committee on Transport dissatisfied with the slow progress of the M1 road rehabilitation. And the Reserve Bank of Malawi expects interest rates to go down in commercial banks following the drop in policy rate. And now the news in detail. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika and the First Lady, Madam Professor Gertrude Mutharika, on Sunday joined the ward in commemorating International Women's Day. In a message shared on his official Facebook page, President Mutharika said this is a day the ward honors and celebrates the excellence of women everywhere. Professor Mutharika also said the ward celebrates the incredible strength, resilience and brilliance of women across the ward, including Malawi. The president stated that women are the heartbeat of our nation. He honored women in farming, business, teaching, nursing and community healthcare, noting that they drive the progress of the country. He further observed the day is not just about celebrating past empowerment, but a commitment to ensuring every girl in Malawi has the opportunity to achieve her dreams and lead without barriers. Professor Mutharika taught the nation's women that their contribution is immeasurable and their success is a national priority. In a related development, women in the country have been encouraged to prioritize self-care, self-love and care amongst themselves if they are to effectively support their communities. General Manager for Ntunzi Funeral Services, Linda Poya, was speaking in Blantyre during this year's commemorations of International Women's Day organized by Blantyre Water Board. Details in this report. In her keynote address titled Balanced Giving, Serving Without Losing Yourself, Poya highlighted how overgiving by women usually results in self-neglect, as most women think of everyone else around them but themselves.
Well, with the theme for this year, it's give to get, isn't it? So as women, we give. I think that's in nature. Women are givers. And there are times we overgive, if there's something like that. We give a lot, selflessly. But sometimes that giving really impacts us. We find that in giving, we are also stressing ourselves. And because we've stressed ourselves, we are not able to give as we are supposed to give. So it's a vicious cycle in a way. And my message was trying to break that and say you have to fill your cup first. Fill your cup, then you're able to give as much as you can.
She therefore urged the women to strike a balance by taking care of themselves, as well as setting boundaries on how best they can help others. Acting Director of Human Resource and Administration at Blantyre Water Board, Lawrence Kaziche, said Blantyre Water Board recognizes the role women play at the organization, as well as the country as a whole, hence the need to appreciate their effort.
As Blantyre Water Board, we value women a lot. We know that for the organization to move forward, we need to have the cooperation of women. But we must also show that as an organization, we understand and appreciate the role women are playing in our success. So as an organization, we thought we should have this event to show our appreciation for what they are doing to our organization. The message we are sending out to women all over is that women are important, they are valuable, organization realize their value, and now going forward, they are part of our world. So for them to understand that, they should also see that organizations are participating in these functions just to appreciate what the women are doing.
Blantyre Water Board has, among other things, awarded outstanding female performers for their hard work and dedication. International Women's Day is this year being commemorated under the theme, Give to Gain. Opile Kaisa, MBC News, Blantyre. Former Vice President Kumbo Kachali has held the role that churches play in ensuring that there is continued unity and peace in the country. Kachali was speaking at VLCCAP in Mzuzu during the farewell of Reverend Timothy Nyirenda and his spouse, Reverend Agnes Nyondo. Musa Secheo reports.
Speaking during the farewell of Reverend Timothy Nyirenda and Reverend Agnes Nyondo, former Vice President of the Republic of Malawi Kumbo Kachali said apart from offering education, health and other services, The CCP Synod of Livingstonia and other religious bodies are crucial in fostering peace and unity in the country.
I want to thank the Synod because of the partnership that they do with government. Regardless of any administration that comes, they are still helping. It is one thing that I made it a point to say, as far as government, both previous, this one and all the past government, shall always be grateful to the work that the churches are doing, including Livingstonia Synod. So we want to cement this relationship to say, let us continue working together as a team.
In his remarks, General Secretary for the CCP Synod of Livingstonia, Reverend William Tembo, made an assurance that the Synod will continue working with the government and pray for prosperity of the country.
Let us love the country of Malawi. Let's love those who are governing us, because it is written that every person must give respect to those who are governing you. So the state president has a mandate from God.
The outgoing congregation minister, Reverend Timothy Nyirenda, thanked the church for the support they rendered to him as their minister.
We have walked a long path of faith, and so today we say thank you, God, for all that you have done unto us. Yeah, so it is a Thanksgiving Sunday for me and my wife that we have saved this congregation to this level, and we have to go and leave the mantle for somebody else.
Reverend Timothy Nyirenda will now be a lecturer at the University of Livingstonia Ekwendeni campus, while his spouse, Reverend Agnes Nyondo, is the Dean of Theology at the same institution. Musase Cheo, MBC News, Mzuzu.
Beautify Malawi Beam Trust has urged people in the country to support the underprivileged in society. Trustee for Beam, Dingiswayo Jerry, met the call at Mwenyekondo in Area 36 in Lilongwe, where the trust donated food items to vulnerable people in the area. Maintumodzi reports.
Speaking during the food distribution exercise, Trustee for Beautify Malawi Beam Trust, Dingiswayo Jerry, also encouraged people to practice good hygiene in order to prevent disasters that arise due to poor sanitation.
Let us emphasize and let us prioritize that each and every household should really take care of their surrounding. And then if people take care of their surrounding together in an area, it means the area will be good. And then together, if we combine those areas, then the country will be good. So we need to improve up in terms of hygiene and sanitation. That will help to prevent the waterborne diseases and mainly those illnesses that come in because of unhygienic situations.
On his part, Member of Parliament for Lilongwe City Mbuka, Lincoln Luonde, commended Beam Trust for supporting vulnerable people and for encouraging communities to observe good hygiene practices.
Anything that saves life in terms of public health, I'm in for it. And I salute the First Lady for promoting public health, especially in our area, Pwetekere, Kaondo, Kasemba. So promotion of sanitation is a subject that I'm in for it. I am there to support the initiative.
A total of 500 people received food items which included maize flour, salt and soya pieces. Maintumodzi, MBC, Lilongwe.
You're watching MBC News with me, Upile Kaisa. A reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika underscores the role of women in national development in his International Women's Day message. The Parliamentary Committee on Transport dissatisfied with the slow progress of the M1 road rehabilitation. And the Reserve Bank of Malawi expects interest rates to go down in commercial banks following the drop in policy rate.
Sabaraino mu program ya Woman Talk.
Ichikhalidwe cholanda malo kwa ana makolo wawo akamwalira kaminda kandi paploti chifukwa choti akuti ndiana oberekedwa. Kodi chikhalidwe chimene chichi chikuchitikabe
kudala kwathu kuno ma victim ndambiri ndithu Nkhani imeneyi
ife akuchimuna tilibe pogawo lodziwa mwana kumene adachokera ama mudziwa mwana ndiyeyo make
koma ena alipobe akapiti kuone akupanga beziti akupanga zimenezozo
zimenezi zopangitsa kuti wanthu ozikhala kwambiri ndi mtima onena kuti akafa m'bale wangayo nkalanda katundu
nde anawo amene abadwawo situdziwa kuti mkazi anarenga kuti
zinthu zoti udachita kale nde ukayambire sowani chimakhala chinthu chopweteka ndipo chimakhala chinthu chokuti umakanika kuyiwala komanso akuchimunachi kuti wakhululukire zimavuta.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Agriculture has urged tobacco farmers in the country to use proper farming methods to achieve high yields and quality tobacco. Deputy Minister of Agriculture Toko Tembo made the remarks in Dedza during a field day organized by the Agricultural Research and Extension Trust, ARET. Margaret Mapando with the report.
Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Toko Tembo, says farmers should strive to use correct farming methods so that buyers do not complain about standards and can offer them fair prices on the market. Tembo says tobacco remains crucial for Malawi's foreign exchange earnings, socio-economic well-being and food security, hence the need to maintain high-quality standards. The Deputy Minister also warned farmers against employing children, saying issues of child labor remains a concern in many farming activities, not only in the tobacco sector.
Child labor has always been a very big problem in tobacco farming. Luckily, we are tackling it and we've seen some improvement. But I also had to mention it today to make sure that our farmers do not send their children to the farms instead of sending them to school. The youth are the future leaders, and we are relying on them to lead this country in the future. So if they are not in school and are stuck in the farms, then that is a very bad thing for the country.
The Chief Executive Officer for the Agricultural Research and Extension Trust, ARET, Abat Changaya, says the field day aimed to help farmers choose the right seed variety suitable for their areas, considering factors such as soil type and weather conditions. He says this can help farmers increase yields and produce quality tobacco.
We are trying to demonstrate that if you dry plant your tobacco, you water plant, the plants grow faster and they escape a lot of pests and diseases. As a result, by the time that the pests come in, the plant will have attained the number of leaves and potential yield that you can get.
One of the farmers in the area, Desderio Sesani, says there is a need for farmers in the country to follow advice given by extension workers, as this helps improve harvests.
Ever since I started to get advice from extension workers, I have benefited a lot. For example, I have donkeys that I bought using the money I made from tobacco farming, as this is my only source of income. Adding to that, I also bought a piece of land.
The field day was held under the theme, Crop Diversification, Key to Sustainable and Profitable Tobacco Production. Margaret Mabando, MBC News, Dedza.
The Parliamentary Committee on Lands, Transport and Public Infrastructure has expressed dissatisfaction with Motor Angel Construction Company over delays in the rehabilitation of part of the M1 road from Kasungu to Jenda. The committee's chairperson, Dumisani Lindani, made the remarks in Kasungu where the committee inspected progress of the M1 road project from Kamuzu International Airport Junction to Mpasadzi Bridge in Kasungu. Madalisa Mhango reports.
After inspecting the M1 road from Kamuzu International Airport Junction to Mpasadzi Bridge, chairperson for the Parliamentary Committee on Lands, Transport and Public Infrastructure, Dumisani Lindani, said the committee noted slow progress on the Kasungu Jenda stretch. He said the Motor Angel Construction Company has only completed 42% of the work compared to other contractors who are currently at 77% completion, despite the fact that all contractors started the project at the same time. Lindani added that the concerns raised by Motor Angel, such as delays in procurement of construction materials and late payments, are not satisfactory. He said the company must ensure procurement processes are done on time to speed up the construction works.
Malawians are paying a lot of taxes for such projects. So what we expect is they should be seeing value for money in all these projects. In this case, I would say, where I'm saying we're disappointed is it's not making sense. Mind you, when these projects are prolonging like this, there will be additional interest in most cases. There'll be a lot of idle time which will be paid for by the government, in this case by Lord's Authority, who is an agent of government. These monies should have been channeled for a real cause. We shouldn't be paying unnecessary interest. We shouldn't be paying for idle time. It doesn't make sense.
Roads Authority Chief Executive Officer Engineer Amio Champiri said the authority will ensure that all outstanding payments to contractors are made on time to allow the work to progress smoothly.
We have been liaising with the Minister of Finance, RFA, Reserve Bank, to ensure that these payments are done as quickly as possible for the work to be completed. So far, the payments have started being done, and we soon should have all the outstanding payments made as promised by government.
Motor Angel Construction Company commenced construction of the 85.5 kilometer M1 road from Kasungu to Jenda on 29 June 2022 and is expected to complete the project on 28 July 2026. However, the company has so far covered 35 kilometers and constructed 2 bridges out of the expected 5. Madalito Muhango, MBC News, Kasungu.
Parliament's Social and Community Affairs Committee says it will lobby for increased funding towards early childhood development and protection in the 2026-2027 national budget. This came out during a child-led engagement with the committee organized by the Malawi Economic Justice Network in Lilongwe, which aims to represent the voices of children in the national budget process. Mpatso Mataya has compiled this report read in our studios by Patrick Dampula.
Addressing the children during the engagement in Lilongwe, Committee Chairperson Zabuka said the allocated 300 million kwacha for the sector is insufficient. He noted that while the government has performed well in funding primary and secondary education, including the removal of examination fees, children under the age of 6 have been neglected. He pointed out that the sector requires almost 90 billion kwacha to cater for its responsibilities.
Indeed, when you are looking at the budget, our greatest worry, which I should highlight today, is the money that is going towards what we normally call the early childhood development, or the nursery schools in courts, but in Malawi they are popularly known as Mela Mpoyamba. So this sector has seen a reduction. They had 1.3 billion in the last budget. Now they have the department has been given 300 million. This is a greatest worry, where we thought this sector needs about 90 billion for it to work perfectly, and that also helps in terms of child protection. So when we look at the whole budget, the secondary we have done very well, the primary the government has done very well.
Representing the children at the meeting, Hatim Hassan stressed the importance of such gatherings, saying they allow children to analyze issues and present their own perspectives for their betterment. He added that this year the main concern is child protection.
Actually, the interaction between us and the members of the parliament is the most important thing, just because we had the opportunity to interact, to tell them, especially in the sectors whereby you're having low funds, like in the child protection sectors.
The organizer of the event said the initiative aims to bring children closer to government. The goal is to ensure that children's voices are included in budget commitments, particularly regarding social protection programs championed by the government.
So we're doing this project with the aim of appreciating how social protection or child rights protection interventions are being championed by government. So we analyze the budget, them analyzing together with the guidance of the civil society network or the consortium members to engage parliamentarians, so that parliamentarians should appreciate and hear themselves what children need to be considered of in terms of budget commitments, particularly the financial commitments for this fiscal year.
The committee has pledged to take the children's concerns to the Minister of Finance as the budget review process continues, to ensure that the voices of the children in the country are fully represented.
A grouping of members from the Malawi Congress Party MCP under the banner MCP Revolution for Change of Leadership has called on party president Dr. Lazarus Chakwera to step down, accusing him of failing to provide effective leadership. Speaking to the media in Lilongwe, leader of the grouping, Samson Chazia, said Dr. Chakwera has failed to properly run the party due to what he described as poor leadership. Chazia said the party needs new leadership to rebuild and strategize ahead of future elections. He further urged Dr. Chakwera to call for a party convention where new leaders can be elected to guide the party towards the 2030 elections. Chazia explains.
Lobbying the leadership of Malawi Congress Party to step down, more especially the leader, the president of Lazarus Chakwera, and call for immediate convention within this year, 2026. The message is, our position is Dr. Lazarus Chakwera must step down and call for the immediate convention to give ample time to allow the party rebranding process take place on time, so that when we reach 2030, the party must be well organized and well positioned for ready for win. We respect Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. Dr. Lazarus Chakwera is the most democratic leader, and we love him, and we are hopeful, and we are 100% sure he will listen to us and he will step down. And he is a leader who respects the rule of law. So we are 100% sure that Dr. Lazarus Chakwera will hear us and will listen to us and will step down and call for the immediate confession.
Meanwhile, Malawi Congress Party spokesperson Jessica Bwila said the said movement does not represent the voice of the party's members. She states that the party has no wing operating under the name MCP Revolution for Change. Kabwila explains.
This grouping is not recognized by Malawi Congress Party. It is not mandated by Malawi Congress Party. When Malawi Congress Party speaks through me, the spokesperson. So we don't know these people. We are completely distancing ourselves from them. The second thing is, they don't have the mandate to be saying what they are saying. The issue of Dr. Lazarus Chakwera being even him in any way, let alone asking to resign, is something that they don't have a mandate for.
In business news, the Reserve Bank of Malawi Governor George Partridge says he expects interest rates to go down in commercial banks following the drop in policy rate to 24% from 26%. The governor said this in Blantyre during a farewell from Old Mutual Life Assurance Company, where he was a board member prior to his appointment as central bank governor. Partridge said while the interest rates differ from bank to bank and depending on who is borrowing, the expectation is that they will ease. He explains.
Well, we have modestly reduced or cautiously reduced interest rates, and we think that the commercial banks are also going to follow suit. Because that is really the reference rate or the policy rate. So in the next few days we are expecting reactions from commercial banks. Yeah, the equation is on both sides. The major problem at the moment is actually the supply side. It's not the demand management. The demand we can do. We can do with monetary policy. We can do with other things, other tools. But the major issue is now, how do we stimulate supply? And part of the issue of stimulating the supply side is actually the policy rate issue. Of course, it has to go with other measures as well, so that the policy rate is also a credible rate and it doesn't go below the inflation rate. Because if it does, then the whole macroeconomic environment is also distorted.
Well, that item concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika underscores the role of women in national development in his International Women's Day message. The Parliamentary Committee on Transport dissatisfied with the slow progress of the M1 road rehabilitation. And the Reserve Bank of Malawi expects interest rates to go down in commercial banks following the drop in policy rate. Keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital pages by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You were with me, Opile Kaisa. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day.
Good morning, and it's time for weather forecast. We are currently expecting cloudy conditions to persist over the country, accompanied by thunderstorms and rains of varying intensity, with heavy rains expected in some areas along the lakeshore, such as Nkhata, Kota, and parts of Kwalonga, as well as Salima. We are also expecting Malawi winds to continue blowing over our lake water bodies, such as Lake Malawi and Lake Chirwa. Hence, we are still advising all lake users, including fishermen, to continue being very observant. This is all due to the influence of this high-pressure system, which is still pumping in very moist and cool of easteries into the country, influencing these activities. This is why this morning, cloudy conditions are also persisting over most areas, accompanied by localized thunderstorms and rains, which are heavy in some areas. Temperatures are also still feeling mild this morning over most areas in the south, the central, as well as the northern part of the country, but it's a little bit warmer over some areas such as Ngabu and Nsanje at 24 degrees Celsius. This afternoon, we should also expect scattered thunderstorms and rains to persist over the southern part of the country, which will be heavy in some areas. We are also expecting isolated thunderstorms and rains over the central as well as the northern part of the country. Occasional windy conditions are also expected to persist over most areas. Temperatures will be hot this afternoon over Nkabu and Nsanje at 28 degrees Celsius, but mild temperatures are expected over most areas in the south, the central, as well as the northern part of the country. I'm Tapua Kutamudu. Be wise, be weather-wise.
Sabara ino mu program ya Woman Talk.
Chikhalidwe cholanda malo kwa ana makolo awo akamwalira kaminda kandi paploti chifukwa choti akuti ndi ana oberekedwa. Kodi chikhalidwe chimene chichi chikuchitikabe?
Kudala kwathu kuno mavictim ndambiri ndithu Nkhani imeneyi.
Ife akuchimuna tilibepo gawo lodziwa mwana kumene adachokera. Ama mudziwa mwana ndi yeyo make,
koma ena alipobe akapiri kuone akupanga beziti akupanga zimenezozo.
Zimenezi zopangitsa kuti wanthu ozikhala kwambiri ndi mtima onena kuti akafa m'bale wangayo nkalanda katundu.
Nde anawo amene abadwawo situdziwa kuti mkazi anatenga kuti.
Zinthu zatu dachita kale, nde ukayambire sowani chimakhala chinthu chopweteka, ndipo chimakhala chinthu chokuti umakanika kuyiwala, komanso akuchimuna chikuti wakhululu